Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So, by popular demand, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom. Just to give a little quick background on why I'm playing this one. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist on stream. It was my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Game I'd ever played on stream. Or on any form of stream, video, anything. I'm a huge Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, and I can't believe this deep in my channel I've never done a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. So, I gave the audience a choice, and I said, you guys take the straw poll, vote between Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom, Forbidden Memories, Duelist of the Roses, and Capsule Monster Coliseum. With the caveat that I'm going to continue to stream Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist for PS4. So that's like the card-based one. So that's just raw Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game. Whereas the other games, I kind of wanted them to like break away from the mechanics. So here we are. We're just going to get right into the game, and I'll explain shit as it happens. We're going to do story, not challenge. Challenge is what you unlock after you beat all 3 campaigns, I believe. Data if this game already exists. Save during the game will overwrite previous data. Okay, so what it's telling me is that if I do a new game, I can't access my old save data. Gotta be honest, that's fine. I don't know the last time I played this game. I love it, but I just don't play it very often. So, which campaign do we want to start with? You can start on Kaiba's side or Yugi's side. Very similar to Duelist of the Roses. But once you beat whatever campaign you choose, you then can continue the game. You can then keep all of your monsters and play on the opposite campaign. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to start with Yugi's, because he's the protagonist. He's the important one. Aw, shit. War campaign. So this is mission 1, I believe. Those who claim to control the gods are in fact controlled by the gods. Alexander Irvine, philosopher. Oh, I pressed something, don't I? Okay. Well, I'm coming off a cold, and my throat's kind of congested, so I can't do any voices just yet. I tried doing a Kermit the Frog voice earlier and just couldn't do it, so... Well, this must be the lab mentioned in that letter you got. Sick! Domino Labs. I know that's not what he means, but... Yeah, this looks like the place. Pretty far from the city, there's nothing else here. Doesn't the building look futuristic? Sick! Is a famous overseas game company, isn't it? It's a new game company that just started here in Japan. Okay, but she said overseas. Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes place in Japan. But it's already becoming a major player. Though it's relatively new, it's gotten pretty big by releasing a bunch of innovative games. They've been using 3D images and virtual reality research to create some amazingly lifelike environments. That's like PlayStation VR. It sounds a lot like what Kaiba's company does. According to this invitation, they're doing exactly the same kind of work as Kaiba Corporation. SICK has incorporated cutting-edge technologies to develop next-generation virtual reality technology. SICK hopes to work in the field of games to perfect this technology using the wildly popular Duel Monsters. SICK plans to further develop the technology through gameplay. SICK wants you to love it. SICK is loved. SICK is life. Their technological goals may be scientific, but if they're using Duel Monsters, I want to get a look at it. Me too. So this is so exciting. Why do they send invitations to us? I think they sent invitations to everyone that ranked well at the Duelist Kingdom and Battle City tournaments. So this does take place after Battle City. In order to test the new Duel Simulator Kingdom, SICK is sponsoring a test trial. I respectfully ask for your assistance in helping us make Kingdom the best game it can be. It also says to bring friends if you want. Naturally, I thought of you guys right away. Just so we're all clear, I'm here because I did so well in the tournaments. Oh yeah? Then where's your invitation? They must have sent it to the wrong address. Yeah, sure, at least we know that Yugi is here as a finalist. That's it. Come on, Tristan. I'll take you, right here and now. Stop it, both of you. There is no time to fight. Look, there's someone from the lab waiting for us. Let's get going. Attention, Duelist! No, that's a different guy. You must be Yugi Moto. We've been waiting for you. Uh-huh, that's me, and these are my friends. Wonderful. Let's all go inside, shall we? Attention, Duelist guy doesn't have a mustache. I don't think. Same hair as Tristan, but doesn't have a mustache. Hey, Yugi, didn't we see this guy at Kaiba Corporation once? I think, but all of the people at Kaiba Corporation give the same kind of weird vibe. You are correct. I did work for Kaiba Corporation. No, he didn't. Wait, huh? I must be thinking of a different guy. Jeez, he heard us. We're almost at the main lab. What in the world is this? That's a dual disc, very clearly. This is 6's latest simulator, codenamed Kingdom. This is just a prototype. We're only using the dual disc for packaging reasons. It's all original, sick hardware on the inside. Is this what you use to recreate the world of Duel Monsters? Yes. Our tests of Kingdom have been very successful so far. We constructed an entire fantasy world based on Duel Monsters. If you'd like to help us by test the simulator by playing the game as you normally would. Simulator supports multiple players, so you'll all be able to play at the same time. It's in multiplayer mode. Everyone joins the game as a different game character. It sounds like a network game or something. Yeah, like that thing that Bakura trapped everyone in the manga before Duelist Kingdom. No one remembers that? Okay. These new games are so awesome. Kingdom is a fantasy world. The card monsters there are alive. You will all join the resistance and fight against the Empire, which is suppressing the general population. Of course, you'll all participate in the game as different characters. The game, you said that already. The game is currently set for a few hours and we'll be recording your play data from here. Cool. What are we waiting for? Let's play. Yeah. Neat. This is so exciting. I wonder what it'll be like. Yugi, does this seem on the level to you? Huh? What do you mean? Well, for starters, you have your jacket on, but I don't have mine on for some reason. Mine's around my neck. This whole simulator seems suspicious. You're probably just overreacting. Ah, it's about to start. After 300 years of ruling the Ron-Devil continent, the Sevua Empire is faced with a crisis. Since the 12th Emperor, Heishin... Hey, Heishin! He appears in most of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, but never appeared in the manga or the anime. Ascended the throne, corruption and brutality have spread through the Empire. People suffer oppression, but their complaints have fallen on deaf ears. Heishin and a select group of his underlings have been living in the lap of luxury. Their lavish lifestyle is supported by heavy taxation, which has pushed most of the populace to the brink. People on the fringes of the Empire have responded with rebellion and revolt. This uprising is extended as far as the northern part of the Empire on Vaxi Island. What's the matter? I don't know, but I've got a really bad feeling about this. Kingdom, Simulator, Overload. Safety lock engaged. Beginning transition to Mode 2. Transition to Mode 2 complete. Kingdom Simulator lock-in mode activated. What's happening? That audio file looks terrible. Yugi. What happened? Lord Yugi. Lord Yugi, wake up, please, Lord Yugi. Ugh, oh, my head. Suddenly I sound like Dan Green again. You seem to be coming out of it. Hey, it's Simon. Or Simone or Simon. He's only in the games too. Where am I? Well, I guess technically Simon could have been in the last season of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm pretty sure they replaced him with Grandpa Moto. Oh, you're in the port city of Makad on the western edge of Vaxi Island. You've lost consciousness suddenly. You just passed out right in the middle of our meeting, don't you remember? Remember what? You appear to be suffering from memory loss. Let me explain everything as quickly as I can. Your name is Yugi. I like how you immediately jumped to memory loss. That was so quick. Your name is Yugi. You're the leader of the resistance here in Makad. We were planning our next attack when you passed out. We've tricked the Imperial forces into splitting up, and Etos, the ruler of these lands, is left with a few guards. It was the perfect... I skipped over it. Is any of this coming back to you? Anything at all? I assume he said perfect chance. No, none of it. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But it sounds like I'm expected to take command of the resistance. That is correct, Lord Yugi. You are, after all. These commas look a lot like periods. It's difficult to get a tone. Supreme Commander of the Resistance. Without you, we don't even have enough marshals. You must lead the front lines. Marshal? Oh dear, have you forgotten everything? Marshals are a type of general and are essential to a battle. Marshals can control monsters and engage in battle by pitting their monsters against those of the enemy. Each monster has incredible power, well, except Kariba. Power equal to that of several thousand human soldiers, again, except for Kariba. That is why marshals hold the key to victory in any battle. However, the number of men with this power over monsters is small, including you. The resistance has but 3. So you're telling me that I have this special martial ability? You have it in spades, sir, although I'm afraid your power might be weaker in your current state. You will have to just get it back slowly in your battle. In the beginning, I will assist your recovery, Lord Yugi. Remember that Imperial units usually have a marshal assigned to them as well. They have several, usually. You will need to get your battle instincts back if you're going to defeat the Imperial marshals. For the time being, we need to finish planning our strategy and organize our units. Come this way. One sec. I'm just pulling up the guide. I'll explain why in a second, but there are things I don't want to miss. And this is my best way to make sure I don't miss anything, is just having this guide ready. I looked at it ahead of time. It's should get everything right. Okay. Well, this is a fine this is a fine mess we're in. I know. It doesn't feel like we have any control over the game. I think it's safe to assume that we're trapped in this fantasy game world. They might have been planning on using us as their lab rats from the beginning. I wonder if the rest of our friends are here too. It's likely. They're probably all just as confused by whatever character roles they've been thrown into as well. We've got to find a way out of here. I don't know how much of what the sick techies told us is true, but they did say that this is a game. Then it's gotta have an ending, right? Maybe if we play the game and clear all the levels, it'll lead to a way out. That makes sense. With help from the rest of our friends, we're sure to find a way home. That seems to be our best bet for now. I love this music. I haven't heard it in so long. Please look carefully at the map of Rondenval. This is Makad, where we are right now. We are right in the top left corner. And this is the target of our next battle. We're going to liberate the rest of Vaxi Island. All at once. But there's like 4 sections there. Oh, okay. In order to do that, we've got to take control of Siget, the provincial capital of the east. I see. Siget is a large castle in the northern section. It's well defended and houses a large fighting force. We won't stand a chance if we attack head-on. First, you've got to get them to divide up their force. We should be able to lure some units away from the capital by liberating nearby lands, places like Edo's Makad. We've already managed to thin out the defenses at Makad. Let's attack it in force and take our first victory. Okay, what should I do? You'll direct your marshals on the fields of battle and attack the enemy main base, Lord Yugi. I'm certainly not as strong as you, but I will also command a team of monsters and assist you. Just remember that none of your other marshals are nearly as powerful as you are. We depend heavily on you. Your success on the battlefield is key to the success of the resistance. There are many other details to plan. Let's start with organizing our units for the difficult battle ahead. What do you mean by organizing? As you remember, I mentioned a little while ago that the enemy army has its own marshals. Only a marshal commanding his own monsters stands any chance against an enemy marshal. No matter how weak a marshal may be, he can command up to 3 monsters. We're fighting an enormous empire. The number and power of its monster units are just as frighteningly enormous. We must organize our own monsters into units so that we can combat the enemy. I said enemy. I don't know why. Enemy. Enemy is not the enemy. Luckily for us, we have several monsters that are willing to fight for our cause. The first thing you need to do is organize the monsters into groups and then assign them to your marshals. Each group of monsters is called a team. Please try to remember that, Yugi. I like how he emphasizes team, like that's the hardest thing he just said to remember. Let's start assembling our team, shall we? After the teams are assembled, it's time to send them to battle. When you are ready, please let me know. Also, pay special attention to the center monster on each team. This monster is the team leader. The team's movement speed is determined by the speed of its leader. I understand. I'll start by assembling my teams. Alright, so Yugi starts off with Feral Imp, Celtic Guardian, and Kuribo. You know, so we got classics here. Fizdis, who we will not be using very often, starts off with Horn Imp, Kubako, something Crab, Penguin Soldier. Shimon starts with Beaver Warrior, Zombie Warrior, and Skull Spectre. So they're highlighted in green. If you press X, you can make it so she comes too. We don't really need her, to be honest. She has Discount, which is an okay ability, but I think instead what we're going to do is we're going to remove Shadow Spectre. Shadow Spectre in the game, or in the actual card game, is a very weak monster, so I don't really think we need it. Now, also remove Horn Imp. I don't know, Penguin Soldier or Kenny Kabuto. I think Penguin Soldier might be useful later on, but I'm not 100% sure. It is a 4-star monster, so I'll take that. Okay. It's like Fizdis' picture knows that she's not going to be used. Okay. We will give Shimon. So it is pronounced Shimon. Okay. We'll give him Penguin Soldier, which is better than Shadow Spectre, so he's already doing better. And Yugi, as much as Kuribo is adorable and an amazing mascot, not a super useful monster. He can be useful much later in the game when you get Multiply, which gives him a special attack, but it's not. I don't think it's really worth it, so I'll give him Horn Imp. So now Yugi's got a really solid team. Is Celtic Guardian 3 stars? That's weird. He doesn't have a lot of attacks between his team, but they're powerful, and Shimon doesn't really have that many either. So all of their stats mean different things, but you get the gist of it. Attack points is their attack points are their attack points. Their defense points are their defense points, and their health points, which are new, is their HP. And then the little stats above, the action points and stuff like that, that will affect their like prowess in battle, but that'll go up over time, so we don't have to worry about it now. Alright, we have 2. War campaign. Safety save. Goodbye, old save file. Okay. And yeah. We're ready to go. Wait, config. Nothing I need to do. Okay. Let's start the first battle. So I don't know how many battles I'll do per part. We're only 15 minutes in. Typically I go for 45 minutes to an hour, so depending how long this takes, we could do 1 or 2, but I'm not sure. It depends on how much dialogue's in between 2. The resistance is about to engage in its first battle. Let us take the victory this day. As you can see, there are 4 villages, including the enemy main base at Makad and the base at Jakad. Thanks to earlier planning, the main enemy force is much smaller than it once was, and it's not massed nearby. The ruler Etos has no idea that we're ready to attack. Let's take this chance to secure a position in the area. First, send someone to free the village of Ruthum. It's not very far from Jakad. The village is filled with supporters of the resistance. It will be a good foothold from where we can attack. As we free the nearby villages from oppressive imperial rule, they will offer us items and money. We need both these things to help build up our force, so we should try to free as many places as possible. Certainly all of our teams are holding position in Jakad. Let's select the teams to send into battle from Jakad and send them to the village of Ruthum. Send a team into battle, position the cursor over the town the team is in, and press the A button. Alright, I got this from here. I know the controls. Okay, it's time to go to battle. So, the victory conditions are Yugi's forces free Makad, and that Yugi's forces does not mean Yugi. It can mean anyone. And Yugi's team is wiped out. That does mean Yugi. Or Jakad falls to the enemy. Those are the conditions for failure. Just want to double check real quick. Shimon will explain the battle plan. Do that. Yep. Wait until... Yep. And then... Okay. Okay. So, for now we're lucky. Typically, there's, typically during this kind of thing, there'll be a lot of enemies, like, roaming about. So, I'll do some explaining they didn't, which is that green means it's your territory, yellow means it's neutral, red means enemy territory. They have 2 marshals. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, I'm going to send Yugi here, because that's what they told us to do. So if you exit out, then the target will leave. But if you wait a second, then you can get your second person to go too. So these 2 have roughly the same speed, so I don't have to worry about it, but it's important who gets there first. I think. Whoever gets here first, I believe, is the one who's in charge of defense. So as soon as we arrive here, the first marshal is going to come from here and is going to attack us. And I think Yugi should be the one who it has defend. And that'll be good because Yugi has the strongest monsters. So for now, just gotta wait. And then I think I'm going to take this town down here. It didn't tell me to, but I'm going to try. Ruthum was liberated. 500 gold. We successfully freed Ruthum. We now have 2 footholds in the area. We're in better shape than the enemy now. But news of our attack has probably reached the main base at Makad. I've just gotten word from spies that there's troop movement at Makad. They will be headed here shortly. We can either build up our defenses and prepare for the attack, or try to free another village. What would you like to do? It is much easier to meet an enemy from a village or castle than in the open fields. Your monsters get an automatic bonus if they attack or if they're defending a place. And you can kind of expand on that bonus later, but for now, just know that just by being there... Oh, it's a Tatsumi Giant. And... I know that's Larva Moth, but what's this one? Zarigun? Not too strong. We'll go into battle in a second. Like, I'll explain the best way to battle, but for now, Yeah, I hope Zombie Warrior makes it here. He's slow as shit. Yeah, so we have a time limit, and it changed from like day to night, and that affects a few things, but not that much. But yeah, there's a hidden monster in this area that you can unlock for your team, and I'm going to try and get him after this. It recommended that I do it. I'm following the guide loosely, but I don't really need the guide. I know it well enough. I just need to know it for like locations. It's almost time to face the enemy marshals. When two or more marshals meet in battle, each commands his monsters to attack the enemy. If you attack all the enemy monsters, you win. If you are both unable to completely defeat the other's monsters, both teams have exhausted their action points. The team with the advantage wins. So when Marshall's monsters are defeated, he must return to his main base. Marshall cannot return to the battlefield until his monsters recover. If Yugi's team is defeated, then the entire unit is defeated. It's vital that you protect yourself at all times. That's true. Having Yugi should always have the strongest monsters, because if his team's wiped out, he doesn't go back and recover. He dies. Like, it's game over. Alright. So you can see the stars. For now, Feral Imp only has 2 stars. Celtic Guardian has 3, Feral Imp has 3, or I'm sorry, Horn Imp has 3. It's confusing. That's the amount of times they can move per battle. So Feral Imp can only move twice. My advice would be, once you get strong enough, your objective should be to attack the monster who has the most action points. But for now, since we're probably not going to defeat the entire enemy unit in one go, it's probably better just to go for the ones with the lowest attack or lowest hit points. So we're going to go for Larva Moth first, just because it's only got 500 HP, so it should be the easiest to defeat. See what I mean? We only did like 100 or so. They're probably all going to survive anyway. So the options are attack, guard, skip. So you can skip your turn and keep your action points. Which is, it's not skip, it's wait. And so if you want, you can just save up all your monsters' attacks to the end. So like weather your opponent's attacks. That's useful when they use guard, because if you attack an anyone that does guard, obviously it does less damage. So what I try to do is I'll just wait it out. But that's not too important right now, because the one we're attacking isn't using guard, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so we are going to defeat Larva Moth. Anytime that you can defeat an enemy while they still have an action point is a win, because attacking them, because then that's one attack they didn't get a chance to do on you. So I guess my general strategy for now is going to be target from lowest HP to highest. I don't think I'll have to fight them again, but that's the general idea. I'm trying to think if Yugi's monsters recover over time. I think they do if you stay in a castle. Oh, see, that's a miss, which is ridiculous. I can't believe that misses happen in this game. If you hold down start, you can see who's currently winning. So that number is based on damage done, and I think guard gives you a set amount of points too. We should have gotten extra points for defeating a monster, but it didn't look like we did. We might not actually, because that miss gave him extra points too. We might not actually win here. But I don't think it matters. If you lose while you're in a castle, I think the only way they can win is to fully defeat you. Doesn't matter, we ended up winning. So, what happens after a battle is there's XP given out and stuff like that. But their monster will now be repelled. Whoever monsters loses, they're stunned for 5 seconds, they can't move. While you're in the field, that can be more difficult, but if it happens like against this is all that happens. He gets stunned for a little bit, and he comes right on back. I wasn't able to see if our team healed over time. Between each battle, the only thing that happens when you battle again is that your action points will come back, but your HP does not. So see, Larva Moth is still dead, and Zaregon, whatever the fuck Lobster Man's name is, still has lower HP. Tell me that killed him. Damn it. He's still got an attack off. That's annoying. So, it gets a lot more fun when you get more monsters. Or even regardless of monsters, it gets a lot more fun once you level up your monsters. Because then the strategy really starts to get effective. Like, when every monster has like 6 stars to attack, that's when things start to get fucking crazy. But of course, we're in the beginning, so we're a little limited. But yeah, so we can get, usually at the end of a mission, not always, but usually, you'll either get another marshal, so like you'll get another person, like in Yugi's case, it'll be like one of his friends, and they come with 3 monsters of their own. Or sometimes you'll just get a monster just for beating the mission. Like you won't get another player, but you will get at least one monster. There is one at the end of this mission. I just don't want to say who it is. It's not like a spoiler or anything. It's just I think it'll be cooler if it's not revealed until the end of each mission. Because I'm sure there are a lot of people watching this who've never seen this before in their life, and they're like, "What's going on?" And that's fair. But for them, I think it'll be cooler just to see the monsters as they appear. Alright, when he gets here, I'm assuming I'll just get money or something, but there are items in this game too. Like, I know red medicine and blue medicine are in this game. Red medicine fully heals a unit. Blue medicine heals like a certain amount or so. But it's like, not every card can be converted into a monster, obviously. So for other cards, they appear as items. So like, I know Diane Keto, the Cure Master, which in the card game restores 1,000 points of health. And this one, I think it restores the HP of all your allies. So we fully defeated him. And once you can... Oh, I was going to say you can see our points going up, but they really didn't. Okay. So I want to check on Yugi. I can't tell if his HP is coming back up. I don't... Oh, yeah, it is a little bit. So I'll leave him for a little bit. And then I'll do this. It says... Send from Jakad to Makad. Which one is this? It's Phaedon. Jakad. And this one's Makad. Okay. Okay, so it should be... He's in the middle of this forest somewhere. So if I just send him just kind of out in the middle, I should run into him. For wild monsters, they work a little bit differently than martial battles. Typically, they you usually will have to defeat them, or just their raw attacks will just usually score more points than you. I believe it's a one-shot, so if you don't defeat them in one go, then you lose the chance to get them. Grrr. Is it an ambush? Gwar. So Shimon versus Silverfang. So, like I said, this is a one-shot, so we either have to defeat him. I don't know if you still get them if you just beat them on points, but we'll check. So, Penguin Warrior luckily has a lot of attacks. I don't think his attack's very high, but he can do a lot of them, so that's helpful. I mean, I feel like it's kind of wasted potential for a wolf to just do like a growl or like a howl. I feel like he should be biting someone, but okay. Beaver Warrior doing very heavy damage. I think after this one, I might switch Horn Imp for Beaver Warrior, because Beaver Warrior is definitely a much harder hitter than Horn Imp. Actually, I won't have to, because we'll just swap in Silverfang and whatever the new monster we get is. So this is a bad example, because this Silverfang is level 1. A lot of the monsters that you'll fight out in the field are like much higher level than yours, just to make up for the imbalance of 3-on-1. For example, this isn't a spoiler. At some point, you'll fight Gaia the Fierce Knight, and he's super fucking tough. And it's hard to beat him, to be completely honest. But we're gonna go for him anyway. Like he's got to be like 30 levels above us at that point. But anyway, at least he got a little bit of experience. So what I'm gonna do is the game recommends Silverfang join your army. Nice. The game recommends sending just Yugi, or the guide I should say, recommends sending just Yugi here. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to send Yugi right about to here, and then I'll send Simon out to meet him too. This is how you should do them. Since obviously the disadvantage we're at here is that if you go one-on-one, then both teams are going to get worn down. But if you have 2-on-1, then it's less damage to your guys and more to them, so it balances out a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Simon's force attack first, and then Yugi's force attacks, and then that should be a decent amount of XP for both of them. And then assuming Yugi does kill him on the second turn, if he doesn't, That's still fine. Then I'll just send Yugi in again, because I want to make sure that Yugi gets the victory, because I want him as a general to level up the most. Alright, so he can attack. I want to move him closer. It's time to attack the enemy's main base. You cannot defeat an enemy in its main base, a town, or castle, simply by fighting better than them. Yeah, so what it's saying is that it's the same as me. You can't you can't win a battle unless you fully defeat them in their castle. You're insolent runts, just who do you think you are? Guards, where are my guards? You're the only one left, get ready for the end. Wah! Traitors, how dare you revolt against the Empire? I'll take some of you with me before I'm done. Alright. So he has, is it Mizaki? The legendary swordsman, which turns out is not a very strong card. Blackland Fire Dragon and Insect Warrior. Alright. I think we're gonna go after Mizaki first, because again, weakest monster. Should be the easiest to take out. Beaver Warrior going in hard. And then after this, we'll send Yugi's team in. As long as we can whittle their team down a little bit, it should make things easier. But a general rule of thumb, at least on my in terms of my strategies, having your team kind of attack in waves against like the boss enemy is the best way to go. I know. I'm trying to think. There are going to be times when we're going to have to defend. Like that's going to be most of the game actually. Is about half of the enemy's forces will be coming for our capital, and about half will be like defending in various points. So the best way to do it is kind of like ward off the attacks, and then after you've like kind of defended long enough, or once you defeated like that half of their forces, that's when you usually will go after their main forces. It's kind of like you start off defending, then you end up attacking. That's pretty much how it goes for almost every mission. There are differences here and there, but that's the general rule of thumb. There's some of the missions do kind of feel the same, but there's definitely the further in you go, there is a lot of variance. Like there was one mission I was stuck on for the longest time, because you have to get from one area, you have to get from one town to another, but you have to basically cross halfway across the map before one of the enemy units gets there. Like, as soon as they get there, it's instant game over. And I was just like, how the fuck do I defend against this? This is bullshit. And then finally, that's when I figured out if you go faster, like if you get a unit that moves faster, like Celtic Guardian and Zombie Warrior don't move very fast, but if you get a unit that moves faster than that, then that's how you win. Put you right there. They should be able to finish him off, though. Not too bad for our first mission. Okay. From here on out, it's easy. It's just 1-on-3. Celtic Guardian is still a little wounded. He took a lot of hits during that last fight. I don't know if it starts the next mission, but you can start customizing the towns that you take over. So you can add like shops and then buy items, or you can add like healing centers so you can like instantly heal your units instead of like waiting a little bit over time. Or I think it also boosts how much is healed too, so it's worth it. There's also, you can set up cannons, which will just deplete half of an enemy's HP before they reach you, which is crazy helpful. And then there's reinforcements and I forget what the other one's called, barricade I think, where as long as you're in that area, your units will have stronger attack or stronger defense. Again, those are based on trap cards. So he just guarded, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until his next turn, and then his guard wears off. But because that was his last move, his guard is just going to wear off over time, and I can keep doing this. This doesn't affect the score, this doesn't do anything. As long as I keep waiting, it doesn't matter because there's no other attacks. So enough time has passed where his guard is definitely worn off. That's a little trick that I didn't figure out until much later into the game. And that's a victory. Neato. So you can see the stats go up a little bit each time. It's worth sticking with units for a long time, but obviously some monsters are going to start off a lot stronger than others. A splendid first victory, Lord Yugi. Our actions here have stirred the people in these lands to fight back against the Empire. The noble families in the area are offering to assist us financially. If we continue to win like this, the resistance should grow nicely. The Empire is confused right now, but it's only temporary. They'll soon send units to hunt us down. Let's take this opportunity to secure our positions and fight off the enemy. Now, it's time for you to make an appearance, Lord Yugi. The people want to meet their savior. Blackland Fire Dragon defected. He's not cooking. Blackland Fire Dragon has defected to our side, which is cool. It's always one of my... I like Blackland Fire Dragon a lot. So we got Monster Reborn and 2 Blue Medicine. Blue Medicine restores a little bit of HP, and Monster Reborn does exactly what you think it does. It restores a monster. Fury of the Empire. Yugi's resistance army decides to undertake its next mission before the Empire strikes back. Ha! Empire strikes back, I get it. With super confused about what to do, the resistance plans to free a large agricultural village in the south. Our success in freeing the Makad area has strengthened the determination of the resistance. Let's strike the stores of the Imperial forces while morale is high. We can cut them off from their supplies. The southern part of the island is mostly farmland. The Empire works most of the farmers like slaves. If we can free this area, all supplies and Stugnut will be cut off and will gain a significant advantage. However, General Sekbakal, one of the fiercest generals in the regular Imperial army, appears to be in the area. Sekbakal is a dangerous foe, well known for his ferocity. I don't believe he has a large force with him, but he should still be careful not to make any mistakes, or we should still be careful. That reminds me, I believe we received some items in our last engagement. You can use those items by equipping the monsters with them. Just remember that you can't change your mind once you send a monster into battle. When preparing for battle, think carefully about which item you give to which monster. That's true. So, first things first, Horn Imp, you served us well for like a second, but Blackland Fire Dragon is joining our team. Do not put Blackland Fire Dragon in the middle. That would be ill-advised because the middle monster is the one who controls your movement, so having him would make us a lot slower because he walks on the ground despite his massive wings. It might actually be smarter to put Feral Imp in the middle. He might be faster, but I'm not sure. It doesn't really tell you the speed stat. You kind of just have to know. I'll keep Celtic Guardian for now, but that might be a good idea later on. I just don't want to have anything. Penguin Warrior has 4 attacks, but he's kind of weak, so I'm going to get rid of him and add Silver Wolf. Actually, I should add Horn Imp. Or Silver Fang. Why do I call him Silver Wolf? They have roughly the same attack. I'm going to get rid of Zombie Warrior, his key monster, and put in Horn Imp. We do technically have enough monsters to send Fizdis out. I just don't really have a need for him, so I think this is good enough. Not the most colorful team, but actually, let me swap these two. I think that's a decent team. I think we get a new Marshal in the next mission, and depending on which monsters they start with, I might just actually between Horn Imp 1350. Yeah, it's not really a contest. Okay, that's a good team. We have Silver. I already forgot his fucking name. We have Silver Fang, and we have Feral Imp, Celtic Guardian, Black Fire Dragon, Beaver Warrior, and Horn Imp. Different Imp. That's racist. Before I stop though, how long have we been going? Because that feels like a lot. Yeah, we're about 40 minutes in. I'll probably cut it here. But I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of these, especially as the story picks up and as we get more monsters. Like, just an example. This is every monster you can get in the game. So this is flipping a page at a time. So this is 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, fuck, now I'm mathing. 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144, 156, 168, 180. So there's about 180, or no, I think there's exactly 180 monsters to choose from, which is not bad. I just realized that the logo it's literally Yu-Gi-Oh! In Japanese behind the question mark. It's weird that they never translated that. But yeah, tons of fun. I just said I was going to put items on them and then forgot. So Blue Medicine restores a small amount of life points, but that number next to it is 7 means that it can restore. You can use it 7 times in a whole campaign. And then I'll give. Who has the highest HP? Well, they're all around the same. I'll give Feralint Monster Reborn, which can only be used once. The rest 7. So that is a brief explanation. Fury of the Empire. I'm gonna save here. I had a lot of fun. I can't wait to do more of this. So if you're watching this, be sure to also watch my streams of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. There's already 2 of them up. I streamed them each for about 3 hours, 6 hours of card game goodness. And be sure to check the schedule. That's in the description to see the next time, or to see when I'm playing this again. Because for now, I think I'm going to alternate this with Kingdom Hearts 2 until I think of a better thing to do. It depends on which one people like more. But I'm going to alternate them for now. And I'm also not scheduled to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist until I think the end of the month on Saturday, because I don't stream very often. But who knows, if people demand it, then I might stream it earlier. So be sure to constantly check the schedule. Nothing is set in stone. I'll update it based on what you guys want. So thank you for watching. And yeah, if there's anything I forgot, just let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, if you think this is going to work out. Yeah, until next time. Goodbye, guys.